Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. Today, we've got something special for you. W. Alphos and Educated Collins competed in something called the Johnson Cup, a major tournament that has all the best players in the world in teams of three. W. Alphos and Educated Collins are three of my favorite creators. W and Collins have been on the cast. Alphos is coming on for the next patch. Um, W is, at worst, a top five player in the game right now. If you don't know Educated Collins, he does content that's honestly fairly similar to mine, covering all things Marvel Snap, trying to teach you how to be better at the game. And Alphos is the tournament organizer for whom I cast on Snap Battle Arena. Phenomenal player. This is the decks they took into the tournament. They were in the world bracket instead of and in that bracket they came in second place, just straight up dominated until they finally fell to Team Kawa. So this is their three decks. These are going to be incredible. Later on today, we will have an OTA video for you with, I want to say, I don't know. I'm aiming for 15 plus decks. I'm hoping to maybe get to 20. It's going to be over 15 decks. I promise you. I'll have over 15 OTA decks for you later on today. Tomorrow morning, we got new Lambie, we got new D Money for two of the other of the five best players in all of Snap. I don't think there's real argument that like D Money, W, and Lambie are three of the top five players in the game. This is going to be sick. We've got some amazing decks coming for you. And that's why I think you should hit sub to this channel. We bring you great decks every single weekday, more decks than anyone, more ways to win in Marvel Snap, to get infinite, get your infinity borders, achieve your goals. All you got to do is hit that sub button. Make sure you don't miss out. In addition, subbing and commenting on any video. I guess we're announcing it tomorrow morning. Wow, time really does fly. We'll be announcing winners tomorrow morning. Any video for the last week, as long as you're subbed, any comment enters you to win a free Loki season pass. So if you're one of those people who don't have it for literally whatever reason, you have a chance to win one of 10 free Loki season passes. Hopefully you're interested in that. We've got two people who we're still waiting to collect those season passes. You can find them right here. If you are Mamich or Techer, pause, read the slide. The deck credits, we believe in honoring people's hard work here. The deck credits for this are W at W Marvel Snap on Twitter, and W Streaming on Twitch. One of the best players in the game. Created the original Doom, created Thanos Control. His decks are always must play. They are both smooth and efficient and dominate both individual games and tournaments. Alphos, meanwhile, is the owner of Snap Battle Arena, my personal favorite Marvel Snap tournaments, although I will admit to a fair bit of bias since I often cast them for hours on end. He is also on Twitch TV as /Alphos. He's on Twitter as Alphos as well. He's phenomenal. He's one of the best Marvel Snap players in the world. He does nothing but watch tournaments and care about the competitive game. He's brilliant. He's a fantastic person. He is just awesome. Like, genuinely, I'm proud to call Alphos a friend. I think he's excellent. And finally, we have Educated Collins, the most infectiously charming man in all of Marvel Snap, who is also arguably the smartest. He is an amazing analyst of the game. You got to check out his YouTube, especially YouTube/@EducatedCollinsSnap or Twitch.tv educated_Collins. It's always a really fun, chill time to watch him play. Check these people out. You will not regret it. Before we get to the decks we're going to talk about, there's two decks we're not really going to talk about. This is the first of them. This is the Doom Wave that run like the standard W Doom Wave, right? Like, he started this deck last week. We did a video on it earlier this week already. Was it last week? Time has lost all meaning since I restarted work. I'm so sorry. But the only difference is he stuck in Medusa for armor, saying basically, I will eat that destroy or Killmonger loss if I have to. But Medusa's power on a storm lane is too good to give up. Cool, good to know. Worth trying if you want to make that switch, but I'm not going to re-talk about the whole deck for one card change. We also have this version. There's a slightly different version that cuts Lizard or Jeff. I don't remember which one. One of the two for Enchantress. It cuts Jeff for Enchantress. If you would prefer that, we talked about this deck literally 2 days ago also. I am vindicated that this deck must run America Chavez because seeing Sauron or Shuri is so good. And let me just say, W8 plus variant game with this one. I absolutely love the variants. We even got a hip in there to make me happy. Okay. the decks we're actually talking about. This is our highlight deck. This is the one on the thumbnail. This is the one you came for. This is Move Wave Alioth. So, Lambie created this move thing like a month ago, and it was the best deck in the game for a hot minute. It was basically built around Craven and Silk and Kitty and Angela. Safety Blade, our friend, saw that list and basically said, "But what if you cut Kitty and Angela and said wave, and now I win the mirror and I beat all these other things that can outflood me?" Turns out that's great. Eventually, Lambie himself starts popularizing a wave version. That's amazing. Things are going well. Well, here we are. W said, okay, but hear me out. Alioth. I hear you, W. Alioth. Alioth seems really good here. This spot was often Magneto in the original list for this deck. I feel like Alioth is probably just better right now than Magneto. This deck is phenomenal at getting priority. And I don't know how often you played original Arrow pre. I'd also like to shout out Snowguard here. Snowguard is a phenomenal card. If location variance is going to get you, Snowguard handles that problem. It also can occasionally, with its bear form, just steal a lane. The 3 cards it gives you just give you such versatility. It basically says these decks used to run Legion. Now I don't especially need to because I have Snowguard. You can still you lose some of the auto game win tricks like legioning on a storm lane or legioning on bar with no name, but Snowguard handles like all the restrictive ones. The I can't get into Sanctum and I don't know if I want to play Doom this game type of nonsense. You just say, or your opponent played Storm against me and my Doom isn't going to be enough. Well, now you just play Snowguard and then you drop the bird and you say, well, now there's an Iron Lad there. Good luck. Works pretty well. These cards are sick. This is a fantastic deck. This is like the one I'm most excited to play of those in today's video, which is saying something because Silver Samurai's and the others, and you know how I feel about Silver Samurai. Okay. This is kind of one where you need all the pieces and maybe Snowguard, and if I didn't have Snowguard here, I would likely run Iceman. Silk and Jeff support Craven and Miles. You can do without Jeff, but like maybe for Spider Ham, but you can't do without Jeff and Silk, and I don't think I would play this without Silk. Iron Lad is a package with Doom and Alioth. I think if you're missing any one, you're unfortunately cutting all 3. Now Wave is gone, so the deck no longer works. So you're gonna need all 3. This is like a new card deck. You like it's built for these cards. This version anyway. You can check back a couple weeks, look through my archives. You'll find a version that doesn't run Doom. Sorry, that doesn't run Alioth or Lad. I believe it runs Magneto as top end, along with these other cards, and you'll be fine just playing that. No harm, no foul. I think it runs Shang-Chi also, if you would like to that change. The turn by turn. Your idea is to get ahead early using your move cards, and then you've got Wave to win the game, basically by locking that out and making it so Doom or Alioth are unbeatable. So turn 1, you want to drop Nightcrawler, and if you don't have Nightcrawler, Snowguard is perfectly fine. You want to move Nightcrawler or Jeff as late as humanly possible. What I see a lot happening, and Lauren mentioned this to me the other day too, Lauren whatever, phenomenal Marvel Snap Zone writer, mentions that basically she keeps winning games of Snap, and I feel like I win a lot of games of Snap because my opponent moved Jeff early for no real reason. They just moved him to move him. They didn't have any like extra, like maybe they got priority, maybe they didn't, but like it wasn't well thought out enough. Because the chance of just moving means I have to do all this extra calculus in my head about where it could move and what that extra power is. We can move on mentally. So make sure you're moving Nightcrawler or Jeff at the last possible minute, or if you're pretty sure you want to play Miles next turn. You're going to have to move it the turn before to play Miles, so you need to make sure that you've moved it the right turn. Turn 2, Craven is a priority. After Craven, Silk. After Silk, Jeff. I really like getting Craven down because that gives you a spot that you know you want to get your move stuff in, and you do have several move cards. You then have Jeff, Silk, and Spider-Man. So if you moved Nightcrawler on 2 with your Craven, which is perfectly fine, at that point you're going to want to you're going to want to drop Miles with Jeff or Silk, and if you didn't do that, you're probably going to drop Spider-Man. Next turn, then you can also drop Spider-Man with Miles. Or you can just drop Iron Lad. Iron Lad hits a Doom or Alioth that's often game winning. Remember that it can hit Doom and Alioth, so like play it accordingly. You don't really want it to hit Silk, but like let's look again quickly. Like, you're okay hitting Snowguard at 4/6 draw 2 is pretty solid. Nightcrawler at this point, it's basically a Jeff unless they have Professor X, but fine. Craven isn't ideal, but like it's still likely to be a 4/8, 4/10 by the end of the game. Wave is great. Miles does nothing, I guess. Spider-Man is fine. It's just a slightly more expensive Spider-Man. Arrow is backbreaking. Alioth is backbreaking. And Doom. A lot of good hits for Iron Lad. Iron Lad's real important here. If you did not Iron Lad on 4, he's a good chance if you didn't see Wave on 5 because he gives you a reasonable shot at hitting Wave. So the play is Wave if you have it, usually, and if you can play a card with Wave, like a Jeff, do it. There's no like High Evolutionary to cause you to not. Then if you then you can play Lad if you didn't have Wave, and if you don't have either, you basically drop Arrow here and say at least you're playing where I want you. Finally, last turn is Alioth, Doom, or Arrow in that order in general. Sometimes Doom is going to win you a game because like there's a locked off location type of thing, but Alioth, Doom, and Wave. Oh, one more thing about Wave. Wave with that Snow Guard is beautiful because that means you very, very often, if you've got Snow Guard out, have that 2 to play with Wave to make sure that you're getting at least 6 power on the board and turning off locations to kind of just do whatever you want there. And since you should have priority because your Craven gets pretty big, Silk, Spider-Man, Miles, these are all big, cheap cards. You should be ahead with priority. Your Alioth should kill their nonsense, assuming you read their board right before they can do anything. One last look at this deck, and again, for those of you who didn't know, these are the variants I use. I keep wanting to buy this new bundle, but I like this Craven better, and I like the Heimdall Craven I have better. So I'm not going to. As always, we have a couple hips. We actually have 3 here. The Lad, the Wave, and the Jeff, best variants in the game. Silk and Jeff, this Jeff are the only 2 cards variants I've ever opened spotlights for. I used 1 spotlight on each. Oh, I've got an extra hip because I bought the Alioth hip literally today. Very happy with it. This arrow is in some bundle. It's totally fine. I have like 3 arrows. They all look vaguely similar. Her character design's honestly not that like dynamic, but I like the like I don't know glowy arm of this one better. I happen to accidentally open the Snow Guard. It's fine. I have a Snow Guard variant. I have the Jim Lee Nightcrawler. It's a toss up between whether I use the Jim Lee or this Nightcrawler. I really like the Season Pass Spider-Man. I have 4 or 5 miles. I have a million miles and a million beast. I think this one hits the character best. It feels I like the like no mask look, but I also like the hoodie. I'm a big hoodie fan. I wear hoodies a lot in real life. And finally, this is the best Doom. Alex Ross Doom is I'm all about it. Right. Thanks for putting up my variant talk. On yesterday's video, I asked people to comment if they liked it or hated it. I figured like I was getting 1,000 like shut up about the variants, and like only one person was like, don't love it, but hey, do your thing if it makes you happy. So like if you hate it, you gotta let me know because I'm having a little bit of fun talking about my variants. Okay. Our next deck is Discard 1. W has 2 different discard lists. They're both Silver Samurai lists. This is the more basic one. It's not going to take that long to talk about. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't love the X23 here. I think it's nice to basically be able to get in Dracula out early most of the time. Like, it's not really doing much else besides getting Dracula or Samurai out early here. Because you don't especially want a MODOK early, right? So, like, it's a fine card, but it's not, like, incredible. I decided to use a few baby variants for this that I have. I really like the Morbius baby variant. It's my favorite of them. But alright, so this deck is fundamentally simple. It wants to storm a lane and use Morbius or Dracula to guarantee yourself that lane. Daken is good tempo, Wolverine and Swarm are good tempo, especially when hit with Colleen or Samurai. That's why those cards are here. You don't want to hit Daken with your Silver Samurai, right? You would love to hit Daken with your, you'd like to hit the Shard with the Silver Samurai, but it's the same concept. Turn 5, you MODOK. If you have Dracula out, then you drop America Chavez and ideally a couple swarms. And your Apocalypse gets discarded by Dracula, and then you have like a 16-20 power Dracula. It works. It's classic discard, right? If you're not playing this deck, no X23, you can cut Samurai. No Samurai, cut X23. They're a pair in this deck. You can still keep Daken, but you're going to have to add Blade. And if you're adding Blade and then you have that second other spot, you can try Nebula, Iceman, or Lady Sif. You have to have MODOK. Please don't play discard without MODOK. Daken decks, Daken can be Sif. It's a nice simple play. It's not. I'm not even sure it's right. If you're missing like all this stuff, then you're looking at Hellcow as your replacement card. Right. Turn by turn and snapping. Classic discard with a bit of ramp. Turn 1 skip. You basically don't want to play, unless there's like a destroy location. You don't want to play X20. Turn 2, Morbius if it's in hand. God, Morbius and Mobius is going to drive me completely crazy. Whatever. Morbius if it's in hand. Or Colleen if Morbius isn't in hand and she can get X23, Logan, or Storm. Turn 3, you want to Storm. If you need to drop Morbius, that's totally fine here. You would really, really like to Storm. So you Storm then, and then you're dropping either Morbius and another 2, or you're dropping Dracula. If you don't have any of these, then Dakin is fine. If you do have Morbius, Storm on that Morbius location to protect it from like an Enchantress. They're very unlikely to Enchantress that turn. And it's just, and it gives them less turns to draw that like type of Enchantress style card. And then, you know, it just gets big enough to usually win you that lane any damn way. Turn 5, you MODOK. And then turn 6, we already talked about it. Cool. We all good? This makes sense. This is classic discard. It's like one of the most linear things in the game. If you're struggling with Snap and like having trouble hitting Infinite, play one of these decks. You're not going to be sad. You're going to win games. You got this. One last look at the deck, and now I get to do my variant talk. I don't like this Wolverine, and I don't always use this MODOK, but like since I have Baby Morbius, which I love, I decided that this deck should run all 3 together. Why the hell not? It is my 3 baby variants. This is the only good Swarm for my money. Storm has nothing but good variant. It's my favorite Storm variant. I like this Colleen and the other Colleen in like the white outfit the best. I would kill for an X23 variant, but I don't know if I would kill enough to put spotlights. I'd also like a Dakin variant, but I like this one animated better than I thought I would. This Silver Samurai is sick. I bought this Apocalypse ages ago, and I don't know, I got a couple Americas, but the pixel is growing on me. I've got the like bundle one golded, and I like it a lot, but like it's a really good pixel. We've got Discard 2. Discard 2 has a totally different strategy than Discard 1. You might notice no Storm at all. So, oh, also no Colleen, which was wild to me. It took me a while to like get my head around how that works. So it's got Nebula for the early I get bigs, and then it's got basically Morbius because if you've got MODOK, why not? You've got Dracula because Dracula with Apocalypse, why not? This deck is built around Zabu and either Dakin or Silver Samurai. Ideally Dakin. So if you can discard 2 shards, ideally with MODOK, sometimes Silver Samurai, and then Absorb Man, right? I guess you can't discard both with that way, but whatever. So if you can discard 2 shards, Dakin is a basically a 4/16, and if you do that in a lane with another decent sized card, you got a really big lane, right? You've got a 24 power lane, enough to win most games of Snap, especially if you dropped anything else there. So like that's where your Zebu ended up or something. And then like the other lane is a like nice 20 something power Dracula because of Apocalypse. And then the game of Snap is over. You've won. Enjoy yourself. Go have a nice cookie. It's not super complicated, but this is more combo centric and thus harder to pull off. I think it's infinitely more fun than the previous list though. Here Nebula can be Iceman. If I didn't have Nebula, it would be Iceman. I don't think you can play this without Zabu. And like this version is Dakin and Silver Samurai. You can maybe try it without Samurai and just go back to Colleen. I don't think the world would end, but you like have to. And I don't know why you would change MODOK here. Like it would really hurt his feelings. Don't make him feel that way. MODOK has to be here. Hey, my family came home. They're gonna give me ice cream and say hello. Let me finish this video really quickly before they get here. So I'm gonna fly through the end of this. All right. Hey, buddy.
So
Thank you. Please, Noah, let me finish. Thank you, bud. My son is here. Please, give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes? YouTube doesn't allow kids, remember? Please. They can hear you. You just spoke a little bit.
second on screen.
Okay, speak.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
He says be sure to like and subscribe. So if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. Okay. So we've got Big Deck. Oh, shut. We've got Big Deck, and that's our new backup plan. Turn 1, we Nebula. Turn 2, we Zabu. Nothing complicated here. Turn 3, we want to drop Dakin or Silver Samurai. This is also a spot for Dracula, but you really, really want to drop Dakin. It's built around dropping Dakin into Absorb Man. You've now got 2 shards. At this point, you can MODOK, and now you have a 16 power Dakin, right? And 8 power MODOK, and then you just can drop your big ass Apocalypse on the next turn and try and win the game. Nice and simple. The other thing you can do is you can spend turn 5 dropping Dracula and Swarm if you have Storm, or Dracula and like literally any other card that if you have, and then you can spend turn 6 Modoking. All that's left in hand is Apocalypse, and you win the game. One last look at the deck. I decided to go a little bit of the anime Robo stuff for the Morbius Wolverine here, and then I realized I have Pixel Apocalypse Modokan Chavez, so they became a combo. All right. My son's gonna go nuts soon if I don't eat this pizza and ice cream with him. So peace. Appreciate y'all. Hit that sub button. I'll see you later today for OTA. Don't forget.